Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. For those of you who don't know, my name's Thiago, and today I'm going to talk to you guys about my favorite investment, which is real estate. I want to talk to you guys about how to get started in real estate investing. I want to show you guys how easy it is to invest in real estate, how painless and how much it can pay off in the long run. Now, I don't want to get too complex, and this is not going to be a high level talk. This is going to be a basic talk, but it's going to be in depth. So what do you need to invest in real estate? Now, there's many people that claim that you can invest in real estate with no money down. Well, I'm here to tell you that you're going to need some money to invest in the way that I talk to you. You're not going to need a lot, but you are going to need a good amount of money. It's the same thing with any business or any investment, Let's say a stock. You put in a low amount of money into stocks. Even if it pays dividends, you're not going to make that much money. Let's say you start a business. You don't put too much money into it. It's going to need money to keep on buying inventory and to sell it if you want to scale that business. Either you asking for money or either you putting in your own money. So, how do you start investing in real estate? Well, this depends, right? Because everybody lives in a different area of the United States or a different area of the world. I want to talk about the United States because I live in the United States. Now, there's going to be places that are more expensive for real estate, like San Francisco, New York, Miami, Washington State. But there's going to be places that are cheaper for real estate, like the middle of the country, in places that, it's secondary cities, not the major metropolitan cities, but, smaller cities. And that's what I recommend you to guys. That's actually where I recommend you guys to get started. If you have that much money to invest, you can go ahead and buy in the cities, but you could usually find better deals in the smaller towns or in the city. Now, if you've never invested in real estate, I highly recommend the first thing to do is start by learning. This is a good way here, watching this video. There's many videos out there online. I highly recommend a YouTube video that I personally watch, which is called Bigger Pockets. They also have a podcast. They are really amazing at explaining every part of real estate, and they have people with experience. And so anyways, so educate yourself, read books. Once you're educated and you feel comfortable, now it's time to go and look for real estate. Now, the type of real estate that I'm going to be talking to you guys about is multifamily properties. Now, I know some people are going to talk and say, hey, why aren't you telling me to buy an apartment or a house? Isn't that cheaper to get started? I'm not necessarily telling you to buy, a 100-unit property. Only if you have the money, that would be amazing. But, I'm talking to you guys about not even a duplex, like a triplex, a quadplex, a fiveplex. I would say 3-family and up. So, the sweet spot's actually going to be the 3 and 4 family to get started, because it'll be easier to get funding from the bank and you'll have a lower down payment. If this is your first time, you can start out by going to the bank and getting an FHA loan. Now, that's the first time home buyer, right? So this means that you're actually going to live in the property. Some people call it house hacking, and you're not going to need a big amount of money down, like 10%, 20%, 25, 35. And that's why you want to start with the 3 and 4 family houses, because if you start with a 5-family and up, sometimes they consider it commercial and they're going to ask for a hefty down payment. And what we're trying to do is put as less money down as we can. So you go to the bank, you apply for an FHA loan, they approve you. Now you got to go out and find a house. The reason why I like multifamily houses too is because let's say you buy an apartment. If somebody leaves that apartment, it's vacant, you're losing money. Even duplex, if somebody leaves and you're living in the second part, you're losing money. Now, a 3-family, you can move in, and if you get a good deal, those 2 units usually pay you, and then after you can move out. In the 3rd unit, you'll cash flow, right? I recommend looking for, these numbers, like realistic numbers, so 7 to 12% cash flow from the house. They sometimes call it a cap rate or whatever, but I don't want to get too complicated for you guys. So, you're ready to buy a house. I highly recommend getting a realtor. Yes, you're going to have to pay the realtor commission, but it's not going to come out of your pocket. It's going to come out at the end when you're purchasing, when you're signing everything. And it's going to make it much easier, unless you're a realtor, then you can go and find your own properties. So, you go and find the properties. I highly recommend, knowing the location where you start investing in. You can start out of state for less money, but it's always good to start in your own neighborhood. Look for places with low crime rate. They call them war zones. You want to not invest in war zones, because even if you find the gem, it's still a war zone. You're still gonna, I don't know. You can risk a lot of stuff. You're not going to get good renters. And you're going to be scared of going to your property, which you don't want to do. One thing that I focus on, that I recommend people focusing on, is the working class community, usually rents anywhere from $800. This is where I live, $800 to $1,500, anything above 15, then starts getting too expensive, and that's more of a B to an A property, grading wise, A is the best, going downward being worse. So those are kind of like top tier. So anyway, try to find like a C property, something in a nice, calm neighborhood, not too high end. I recommend looking for a house that with not a lot of touch up, not a lot of work you have to do, but enough work where you don't put a lot of money in, and you can still, with the little money that you do put in, you can increase the value of the property. So, okay, you get a realtor, you find a house, let's say the house, now you got the FHA loan, what's awesome about this is you're only going to put, the 3.5% down, which is, if it's a $100,000 property, you're only going to put down $3,000, $200, $6,000, still not a lot, $300, $8,000, whatever, something like that. I'm not that good at math, so, don't judge me. Anyway, so you're only going to put down that 3%. There's closing costs and additional costs too, but most of the time, if you're good at negotiating, you can get, or your realtor is good at negotiating, they can get the seller to pay those closing costs. So, you go through this whole process. Let's say you buy a 3-family house, I recommend, just going to the house, taking a look at it, you get an inspector to come in, you get an appraiser to come in. If everything goes out good, in the end, if you get a great result, then you proceed to close, and then if everything goes well, you close, and congratulations, you have your first multifamily house, So what do you do now? Now is where you make money, it's in the managing, So is there any units that are vacant? You got to fill those units, make sure it looks nice, but you don't want to go again all out and make it into a penthouse or something like that, if you do, you can, but I don't recommend it. Just put, clean it up. If it needs new flooring, put in new flooring, new paint, bring in a cleaning crew, clean it, or clean it yourself, if you don't have that much money. And then, you clean it up real good. And then you want to go and advertise it on Facebook, Zillow, just advertise it everywhere, make sure you take nice pictures, and then after you're going to, you're going to start getting people coming in, and then that's where you want to start. That's the, going towards the last part of it, you're going to want to screen your tenants. You want to make sure that you have good tenants, make sure you do a criminal background check, make sure you do a credit check their social media, check their car, check anything that's possible. Don't discriminate, but you want to check everything so that, after all said and done, you're not stuck with a professional tenant, with somebody that's there to take your money away and not pay you, because there's those people out there thank God I haven't come across one of those. You know, I've done my due diligence, and I have, you know, gone through the extreme, you know, so that in the long run, I'm in this business to make money, not lose money. So once you do this, get yourself a lease. You know, you can get one online, or be more professional, go to a lawyer, get one. You know, make sure that you get, you know, the rent right. You know, you got to set it. Make sure that you're intaking money, and that's it. You know, you just manage it here and there, and that's basically it to get, you know, a real estate property. I can go deeper into subjects, and I would love to dive deep. So if you guys have any questions about real estate or how to manage real estate, or if you have any comments, you know, I would love to keep talking about this subject. So please feel free to leave it down below. Again, subscribe to my channel for more upcoming videos. I will release more videos about real estate. I will go deeper and into more advanced topics. Again, I want to thank you guys. Till the next time.